Okay, let's go ahead and begin the demonstration and explanation of discussion forum expectations. As we progress through the scope of this course, I want to talk about what is expected on any graded discussion forum as you proceed through the class, how things are scored, etc., so that you have an understanding of the expectations of a discussion forum. So the things that you want to stay away from here first, a discussion forum posting as well as your two quality responses require that they are substantive, and things that I want you to stay away from in terms of your discussion forum posts. Doing the good job post. Hey, Mike, you did a great job on that post. Well, I encourage praise, towards that. However, if you state that, put something more substantive included in that. Hey, Mike, you did a good job. You explained the concept of calculating a mean where you added the values divided by the number of occurrences. So while you praise somebody, you also had something substantive in there, which is perfectly fine, but just don't say, hey, you did a good job. That is not a substantive post from my perspective, and you wouldn't earn credit for that respective post. The next item that's listed there is what I refer to as the summary post. Don't regurgitate what somebody else said in their respective post. Now, if you want to add something to it, that is substantive. If you say, hey, you provided a good summary, however, can you take a look at it from this respective angle or something along those lines? That's perfectly fine. However, just don't restate what somebody else said because we've already read it. Put something more substantive towards that. The way that the posts are set up in the respective math courses, your initial post is going to be unique, and then from there, you can add value, which is going to end up getting you your posts, your points for that respective post anyway. But don't just re-summarize what somebody said. It's not going to count. The next one that's listed, let's ask a question because I don't know the answer to the post. Hey, what do you think about that? If you're just stating that, you really haven't given too much thought to it. I know the answer. I've been doing it for over 25 years. I want to find out if you know the answer. Asking, well, what do you think about that? Or I just don't know what's the answer. That's not going to count as a substantive post. So we want to try to stay away from those as much as possible. The next item that's listed here, hey, I found this article out on the web and I did a Google search on it. I know that the article's there. You know the article's there. You summarize it. You're supposed to be putting forth the effort to do that respective post that's out there. So, I can go out and read the post. However, I want to know if you have an understanding of that concept that's out there. So just don't copy and paste the URL that's out there. You put forth the effort inside of that post, because if you just post a link there, that's not going to be sufficient as a substantive post that's out there. The other item, there are things inside of your respective classes called muddiest point forums. This is where you would put the issues with math. Hey, I haven't done math in 20 years, math sucks, whatever in terms of that. That's not substantive towards the discussion that you're trying to present, and we want to stay away from those in a graded forum. They're not going to be substantive inside there. Now, again, I totally get it. As I've stated, I've been teaching over 25 years in the math and computer science realm. I get that math is a challenge for a lot of students, and that's fine, but that's not the place to be expressing your opinions towards mathematics. So again, do keep that in mind when you are posting out there. The next one is what I refer to as the double dip post. The double dip post is not a mechanism that is allowed inside of any of my classes, where if there's 3 parts to the initial post and you figure, okay, I'm going to get all 3 of them in, where you can respond to yourself and you break it up into 3 parts. If the initial question or questions are asked, you have to address them in the initial post. You have to respond to either me when I respond to you in a post, or to someone else inside of the class. Responding to yourself will never repeat never count as a valid response. It would count as your initial post, but the 2 additional responses or the additional response would not count towards your points in a discussion forum. So I always like to bring that up. A lot of students think that this is a great strategy. Hey, I'm going to get all 3 of my posts out there, so I'm going to break it up into 3 parts, and Mike's not going to catch it. Mike will catch it, and you need to make sure that you're addressing whatever's out there on that initial post as part of the initial post and not break it up into multiple parts. All right, things I do look for in our respective math courses at this level, being an undergraduate mathematics course or a statistics course. I want to see examples that support your findings. If you're going in and there is a topic where we're addressing dealing with the calculation of a central tendency called a mean, and we do that in all of the classes that I teach, so I'm using that as an example. Show me an example of that calculation. Don't just put out there, hey, I investigated the mean as an average, and then leave it at that. I want to see if you understand that respective concept when you're talking about it in your respective initial post or the responses that you make out there. So again, even if the answer is not correct, you're not being graded on the correctness of it. It's whether you've made the attempt out there to go ahead and demonstrate your understanding of the concept. So just don't put out there the definition or what you find, or you copy and paste something from some website that has the concept out there. I want you to give it some thought when out there, and the example is the best way to accomplish that task. The other thing out there, we all make mistakes. I will tell you in 11 weeks for this class, there will probably be several mistakes that I will make. I'm human, just like you as the student would be as well. If you go out and you see that there's an error on somebody's post, respond to it. But again, use constructive criticism out there. Be politically correct with it. Use proper etiquette. Don't go out there and say, hey, Mike, you added the 5 numbers and you suck. You know, that's not proper etiquette. We're adults here. Let's treat each other as adults, or, you know, that respective thing. So don't just put, again, the good job. We already talked about that. That's not going to count as a response. Again, looking for something substantive so that you can earn full credit on that. So the best way to get the points, show the examples. If you show an example that ties to that process or what we're addressing inside the forum, 99% of the time, you're going to end up with the points on it. So do keep that in mind as we progress throughout the course. Now, how discussion forums work inside of the class. Discussion forums are defined, and I need to correct this. I need to go into the slide here. I apologize. This needs to say from Monday to Sunday. There we go. Let me switch this again. I apologize. I didn't have that in there correctly. Now we got it correct. Okay. An NAU class week is defined from Monday at 12 a.m. Mountain Standard Time or Mountain Daylight Time, depending on what time of the year it is, to Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Standard Time or Mountain Daylight Time. The way that it works to earn full credit on a discussion forum is the initial post must be there by 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time on Thursday. If you do not make your initial post by Thursday at on or before 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time, you lose 60% of the total points possible. For most classes out there, if it's a 10-point forum, you're going to lose 6 of the 10 points if you do not make that initial post by Thursday. And the official clock is what NAU has listed inside of D2L. It's not, hey, Mike, my clock said, you know, it was 11:59 p.m. on a Thursday. Whatever the date timestamp that D2L assigns to it is what is going to be utilized to make the determination whether you have your initial post made in on time. So what I'm recommending here is Do not wait until the last minute on a Thursday night, because Murphy's Law is going to kick in. Your internet connection goes down, your PC crashes, etc. Be proactive. Employ time management to ensure you get the initial post in by Thursday and your 2 quality responses by 11:59 p.m. Sunday. So do keep that in mind. The official timekeeper is the date timestamp that D2L or the class portal assigns to it inside of your respective posting. Discussion forums are only open the week they are administered. For every math class that's out there inside the math department now, there is a discussion forum that you can post to each and every week inside of the respective course. They open Monday at 12 midnight. They close Sunday at 11:59 p.m. They're not open early, nor can they be submitted late. So in other words, in week 1, do week 1's discussion forum. Week 2's discussion forum, all the way through week 11, week 11's discussion forum. So again, if you come in to me and say, Mike, hey, I didn't get my posts in for week 1 and it's week 2 inside the class, I'm going to refer you back to this video that I went through the process of making sure that your initial posts are done inside of your respective discussion forums. So again, they're not open early. They can't be submitted late. You have to make your respective posts each and every week to ensure you earn full credit if it truly is a graded discussion forum. There will be other ones that are not graded. Typically, they will be addressed either as a muddiest point forum. It may be addressed at the top of the discussion forum saying that this forum does not earn credit. For example, week 1, an introductions forum does not earn you credit, but it's a good chance to build community inside of the classroom, but you do not earn points for that. You still will earn attendance if you make those respective posts. However, you do not earn points in a muddiest point forum, nor do you earn points on ones that are explicitly listed at the top. It will typically be in bold letters saying that this forum does not earn you points. However, you can earn attendance by way of making your posts inside of a discussion forum. So again, do keep that in mind. The muddiest points are only question and answer. You do not need to make 3 posts inside of a muddiest point forum. Once you make a post in a muddiest point forum, that would count as your respective attendance. You do not need to do the initial and the 2 quality responses if it is not a graded discussion forum. Okay, let's talk about scenarios how a student would be scored relative to the timing of their posts in a class week. And again, our class week is defined as 12 a.m. on a Monday Mountain Time to 11:59 p.m. Sunday Mountain Time. And again, if you reside outside of Mountain Standard Time or Mountain Daylight Time, make sure you adjust accordingly to your respective time zone. Okay, so this student, student A, makes an initial post on a forum Wednesday at 3 p.m. Mountain Time, first response Thursday at 10 p.m. Mountain Time, and then makes their second response Saturday at 1 p.m. This student would earn full credit because the initial post was made on or before Thursday at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time and made 2 quality responses. So 6 points on the initial, 2 for the first response, 2 for the second response, would yield full credit or the 10 out of 10 points on the discussion forum. So this student went in 3 times in the classroom, made the initial post before Thursday at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time, and would earn full credit. Let's take a look at student B. While I don't recommend doing this for student B, this student would earn full credit for a respective discussion forum. This student went in one day and posted 3 times, made an initial post and responded to 2 others. While I do not like this, it still will count as full credit. NAU does not make a distinction that you have to post on 3 separate days. It's just the initial post and 2 responses. The argument for that is that students have life happens things going on, and maybe Thursday is the only day that a student can make their post. This would count as full credit because the initial post was made on or before Thursday at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time and made 2 quality responses on it, so would yield full credit for student B. Let's go to student C. Okay, remember what I stated earlier. The official timestamp or clock is what D2L posts on that respective post. So this student waited until the last minute, was submitted Friday at 12 a.m. Mountain Time on a Friday. The first response was Friday at 1. The second response was Saturday at 1 p.m. So this student did not make the initial post on or before 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time. So the student does not earn any points on the initial. It's 6 points for the initial, 2 for the first response, 2 for the second response. So even though the student made 3 postings here, the first one did not count because you did not follow the requirement of on or before Thursday at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time. So this student would earn 4 out of 10. Now, a lot of times the first week or the first couple weeks of class, I'm going to get the comment coming back saying, Mike, Mr. Weeman, I was just there a couple minutes late. Why aren't you being flexible? I have to put a line in the sand or a hard stop time to make it consistent for all students inside of the class. If you wait until the last minute and procrastinate on that Thursday night to make your initial post, and you wait until the last minute and the timestamp says 12 a.m. on a Friday, it's not going to count. It's not up for negotiation. It's supported by administration. This is the way that it works. So again, I'm not trying to be harsh or rude on it, but I have to make a line in the sand somewhere that, okay, if I allow student C to do it for 1 minute, then, okay, are you going to allow it for 2 minutes for student D or student E or whomever inside the class? It's binary. It's non-negotiable. It's black and white, on, off. If it's not there before 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time, it does not count as an initial post. So again, this student would earn 4 out of 10 because the initial post would not count because it was not made on or before 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time on a Thursday. All right, student D waits until the Sunday night to make all 3 posts, thinking, hey, you know, I got all 3 posts in, I'm going to earn full credit, right? Nope, because again, this student did not make their initial post on or before Thursday at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time. So the initial post does not count. The 2 responses do. This student would earn 4 out of 10 on their respective discussion forums. So again, I cannot stress enough, the initial post has to be there on or before 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time. You have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and all day Thursday to get in an initial post. For all discussion forums that are inside of a math class, we're not talking about hours on end to make an initial post. 5-10 minutes tops in most circumstances to make an initial post that's out there. So be proactive, start with the routine of making that initial post on a Monday or a Tuesday, or wait until Thursday, but do it early enough in the day so that you're not going to run into that scenario losing 6 out of 10 points on a discussion forum. So this student waited until Sunday night to make all 3 posts, they're only going to get 4 out of 10 on it. Student E only makes 2 posts, does both of them on a Sunday night. This is the same scenario. An initial post was not made, but they would count as 2 responses. This student would earn 4 out of 10 because, again, one of the posts was not posted on or before 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time on a Thursday. Again, I've repeated it multiple times. Just want to make sure everybody's on the same page. Initial post has to be there by 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time. So this student would end up with 4 out of 10 on the discussion forum. Last one here, student F does make 1 post, This only counts as one response. This student would only earn 2 out of 10 points because, again, no initial post was made on or before 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time. So this student would earn 2 out of 10, assuming that it was a quality response out there. Hopefully this clarifies the expectations. Feel free to send me a private message if you have any additional questions or concerns on the scoring and expectations of a discussion forum. Thank you.